So, unless you have been living under a rock, you might be at least remotely aware that Sydney Sweeney has great genes. And whether if you know who Sydney Sweeney is or not, at least you will understand how outrage can be weaponized for profits.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Sydney Sweeney has very keen.
American Eagle hired Sydney Sweeney to sell jeans with the tagline, "Sydney Sweeney has great genes." And somehow, this caused half the internet to have a complete psychological breakdown and start screaming about Nazis. Now, let me explain how we got here. On July 23rd, American Eagle launched what should have been the most boring corporate event imaginable, a celebrity endorsement deal. Sweeney, who looks like she was genetically engineered in a lab to sell skinny jeans to suburban teenagers, appeared in videos making puns about jeans and jeans. One video had her whispering about how genes determine hair and eye color, ending with, "My genes are blue." This is 80s era stuff, and for one, I am here for it. A good pair of fun bags sells. Period. Puns grab attention, attractive people make products more appealing, but what happened online?
Did American Eagle just run an ad for eugenics? Look, I'm not saying that Sydney Sweeney personally wrote this ad to revive the Third Reich, but American Eagle absolutely knew what they were doing here. You don't get to drop lines about inherited traits, blue eyes, and great genes while zooming in on somebody that could have walked straight off of a Nazi propaganda poster and expect people not to catch that reference. Good genes used to mean racial purity in fascist circles, and now it's just denim marketing.
Well, the campaign was so aggressively mainstream that they even tied it to domestic violence awareness. American Eagle's stock immediately jumped 10%, adding $200 million in value. Within days, social media exploded with people convinced they had uncovered a secret Nazi conspiracy hiding inside a denim commercial.
I will be the friend that's too woke because those Sydney Sweeney American Eagle ads are weird. Like fascist weird. Like Nazi propaganda weird. Like a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white woman is talking about her good genes. Like, that is Nazi propaganda.
The logic went like this. Sweeney has blonde hair and blue eyes. She talked about good genes. Therefore, this is obviously eugenics propaganda designed to promote Aryan supremacy. Now, the result is people genuinely believing that American Eagle, a company whose entire business model revolves around selling overpriced basics to teenagers, decided to secretly promote Nazi ideology through jeans commercials. The silver lining is that the backlash videos are pure internet gold. One TikTok user literally burped mid-rant while explaining how they somehow oppress black women.
Hey, American Eagle, now do black and brown women. Because black and brown women also have great genes that they inherit from their parents. Did you know that? They also have butts that look really good in jeans as well. But they don't have to fit their butts
this
into
piece
American
of shit?
Another person cried actual tears about denim becoming a vehicle for white supremacy.
Yep, that got me too. And I don't know why. Maybe because it's just so blatant. I keep thinking that people just are not gonna believe us until we're hung out there, but then even then I feel like they'll be like, oh no. If you are any type of person, but especially a white woman who's coming to this platform thinking you're doing me a favor by clicking a follow button, leave now.
I mean, how can you take these people seriously? How can you treat them as fellow humans when they are having emotional breakdowns over clothing advertisements? But liberal commentators double down on the Nazi comparisons. Everyone involved got more followers, more engagements, more money. Megyn Kelly tweeted that the leftists' meltdown only resulted in a beautiful white blonde girl with blue eyes getting 1,000 times the exposure for her good genes. And she wasn't wrong. The controversy gave Sweeney more publicity than any normal campaign could have achieved. Even celebrities joined the pile on. Lizzo posted altered images mocking the ad. Doja Cat created parody videos. Anthropologists appeared on news shows to explain how jeans commercials reflect deeper societal problems.
What makes up somebody who has great genes, right? I mean, like genes, as in Genes, right? Or great DNA. So I remember this biologist reading several years ago saying that actually people like J-Lo, Puerto Ricans, have the best DNA.
Are you stupid, simple, or slow?
Because they're so mixed.
Features.
They're so mixed because of the, ethnic diversity.
We have reached peak absurdity. Academic experts analyzing the sociological implications of a good pair of gazongas. That never happened with Baywatch, and boy, did we have more exposure to that kind of material. American Eagle's response was masterful in its simplicity. They issued a statement saying that the campaign was about the jeans, and they would continue to celebrate how everyone wears their AE jeans with confidence. The translation is that we are not apologizing for hiring a hot woman to sell clothes. This was the correct move because apologizing would have accomplished nothing except encouraging more outrage cycles. The people demanding apologies were not potential customers anyway. They were performance artists using corporate controversies as stages for their own moral theater. And on August 4th, Trump posted on his platform, Truth Social, calling the ad fantastic and noting that the jeans were flying off the shelves. American Eagle's stock immediately jumped more than 20%, the biggest gain in years, and even the White House account on X jumped into the game. This perfectly illustrates how everything becomes political now. Trump's endorsement wasn't about jeans or marketing or even Sydney Sweeney and her jeans. It was about triggering his opponents and energizing his base. The actual product became irrelevant. What mattered was which team you supported in the cultural war. Former Obama staffer Ashley Allison went on CNN to declare the ad disgusting and white supremacy at the end of the day. An influencer claimed brown girls would be traumatized wanting to look like Sweeney.
I remember growing up in a predominantly white community, wishing myself out of this body, out of this culture, take my name, if it meant that I could wake up blonde-haired and blue-eyed, never having to explain who I am or worry about being accepted. That is why this American Eagle ad with Sydney Sweeney is especially off-putting. I can't help but think about the 13-year-old brown girl who gets all her denim at American Eagle, who already struggles to see her beauty and worth in a world that continues to value white, Eurocentric beauty standards. And this girl is now wishing she too could wake up with blonde hair and blue eyes. It took me so long, too long, in my life to look in the mirror and see beauty. And I hate that that continues to be a shared experience for young brown girls in this country.
And these were not policy discussions or meaningful social commentary. They were tribal loyalty displays dressed up as moral reasoning. Reasoning that was very flawed and seriously cannot qualify to be called reasoning at all. But the real issue here is not that broken people got upset about a jeans commercial. It's that we have created systems that reward and amplify this kind of manufactured outrage. Social media platforms profit from engagement. News outlets profit from clicks. Politicians profit from division. Everyone has incentives to make everything seem more important and more dangerous than it actually is. This was never about her, or jeans, or even racial politics. It was about toxic liberals' need to find meaning and purpose in their increasingly purposeless and godless lives. But at least the jeans probably fit well. I would like to know what you think about this in the comments. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Body Language Guy. And don't forget to download my 100 free body language tips right in the description of this video. I said body language tips. No, it's tips. Much love and bliss.